To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave para peeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is Reverend Sean Whittington's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Reverend Sean, the Rev. Welcome to my haunted house, my very haunted house. Been quiet today. I'm looking above. Well, there we go. The dream catcher's moving a little bit above me. But other than that, it's been kind of quiet this week. Does anybody want a cat? One of my feral females showed up with her family of kittens at our doorstep a few days ago. Beautiful little things, but oh my gosh, we can't keep them. We're getting overrun here. So anybody let me know out there if you want a cat. What else do I want to say to you guys today? I'm going to get to my prayer urn and see who wants to get an opening prayer today. Okay, great choice. Great choice. Not that anybody that I would have pulled name, and everybody knows who's in this urn for today. And I would have been happy anybody's name that I would have pulled out of here. But this one is special. It hits close to home. It's the Cutler family. And they have been having the whole family has been having some issues of a you know what kind. So, guys, I'll just keep it simple. I taught this family how to fight back. Fight back. When you're up against disgusting, perverted, psychotic, unclean entities who spend their existence in a spiritual sewer and cesspool, whose only purpose in their existence is to kill you. Fight back. The Cutler family is doing that, and they're doing much better. I'm going to light a candle for them, and I got the perfect prayer to offer up for them today. If you guys want to add any love and light and positive energy to this prayer, or receive any of the love and light and positive energy from the prayer, it's simple. Just reach out, touch your computer screen, close your eyes, and bow your head. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord Jesus Christ, in thy name, I ask thee to bind and silence all powers and forces that do not accept thee as Lord and King, in the air, in the water, in the ground, the netherworld, and nature, and the spiritual world. I ask thee to bind all demonic action and demonic communication. Lord, seal this whole place, all of us here, and all our intentions in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Mary, we ask thee to surround us with thy mantle of protection and crush Satan's power in our lives. Saint Michael, the archangel, we ask you and all our guardian angels to defend us in battle against Satan and the powers of darkness. Amen. The Cutler family. Families, get a big candle. To the Cutler family, may the Holy Spirit enter and intervene in your lives and stay with you on your journey, circling the wagons, drawing your line in the sand, and making a good stand against true evil from this day forward. Amen. Cutler family, your candle will sit here and burn with me for the duration of the show. Then I'll put it in the room with all the other burning candles, and it'll burn until it burns out. But God bless you all. Okay, guys, if there's anything you want to know about me and my wife and my ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And when you go there, remember, my wife and I don't charge for our ministry work, helping people with their paranormal issues. So I know times are tough. But if you notice the donate button and you're able to do so, click on it, send in a small donation. I promise you, it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And I assure you, we will put it to good use. While you're there, I am also, in addition to being an ordained exorcist, I am a certified spiritual advisor, intuitive coach. If you have issues of a spiritual nature, not necessarily attached to the paranormal, and you'd like to speak to the Rev about those issues, you can make an appointment there at the website to talk with me. But don't leave the website without navigating back over to the page entitled the WSE course/book. On that page, you'll find the ghost store. Lots of cool things in there. Hoodies, short sleeves, long sleeves, bags, hats, cool coffee cups, you name it, if you go for that sort of stuff. But scroll a little further down to the bottom of that page, you'll find my new haunted autobiography, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. And I quote, the scariest book I ever published. That was Annette Munich, owner of Stellium Books, my publisher. But please don't let that scare you off of purchasing a copy. Part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my book goes to support stjude.org and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital in Nevada, and that is a beautiful thing. And I just recently added a new charity to that. I've been in the animal care industry most of my adult life, so this was a no-brainer. I added the ASPCA, so you get to help the animals too. My book is scary, but there's a lot of good versus evil where good wins in it. I like to refer to it as a very different type of feel-good story. If you've purchased the book, God bless you. You're a part of the support group. You can get the book there signed, autographed, and enclosed in a house blessing kit, or you can get it a little less expensive at Amazon. A little further down, you'll see the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, which I am a founding member. I offer a 12-week online college-level course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, through the WSE, and you can enroll in the course there, or you can go to the Worldwide Society of Exorcists Facebook page and read a little bit more about the course if you'd like to. But this course is perfect for the warrior for Christ, the person that feels a hunger and a calling to want to know and have more knowledge when it comes to drawing your line in the sand, circling the wagons, making a good stand and fighting back, putting up the good fight against, God forbid, true evil if it ever comes calling. So you can enroll in the course there. All my students receive a stunning diploma, certificate of completion suited for framing, along with some other very special blessed items that you can only get from yours truly, the Rev. So please keep all of my former, current, and future students in your prayers. All right, now the reason why you all came. Can't wait to talk with her. We always see her hand, just her hand, in front of the camera, holding beautiful crystals and stones and what have you. Thought it was a nice change of pace for everybody to see her face. She is the host of a very popular show on the Paranormal United Network 2 Facebook Live page. And she's also a paranormal investigator, an experiencer, a psychic. I know you guys are going to love her. Please welcome to the show the one and only Valerie Wright. Valerie, are you with us? I see you, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. I'm over here playing around trying to find the live on the Facebook page, but I'm not able to find it there. So
I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. I got it. I found it.
Listen, I've been wanting to meet you for a while. I love the show. I'm glad that it's being successful. You've got I don't know how you do 3 shows a week. I can barely do this one and my Monday one. It's difficult, but thank you so much for taking an hour out of your busy Friday. And I know you have a show tonight, so I won't keep you longer than I have to.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
You got it. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Listen, this is what do I want to ask you? I have some of your fans and followers send some questions in. I've got a few of my own. Let me start with, how are you doing? The last year was a very ugly year for the world, not just us, but how have you, your family, everybody that you love, that you're close to, How's everybody held up during the pandemic? Everybody okay?
Everybody is doing okay. God, that I'm very thankful for that. So we are doing good.
Very, very good. Very, very
Doing good.
good.
It's been a very intense couple of years, but we're all getting through it the way we can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You look very pretty today. You look healthy, and that's the most important thing. Regardless of what we talk about, that's the most important thing. I like to make sure all my guests are doing okay. Because if you need, you can just reach out and ask me if you need me to offer some prayer up for you and your family. That's what I do.
Oh,
But
wonderful. I appreciate that.
I have friends of all walks of life.
Same here.
And a lot of people sometimes go, "Really? You know witches?" I know witches, lots of witches. And some of them I ask, "Hey, listen, talk to me about your belief system." And some of them say, "Well, I'm like a Wiccan." Some say, "Well, I'm like a pagan." I've never really, and I know they exist. I've never really met any witches that go to I don't even know what path that would be, to where they pervert the religious belief system a little bit, and they make it an ugly thing. And I know you're not about that, but explain to me. With the Ravens call shop, I assumed you were a witch, and I don't judge, and I'm cool with that. But explain to me, in your world, what that means, and in your approach to that world.
Well, the Ravens Call Shop is a metaphysical crystal shop. I started it about 9 months ago. Um, I have had it pinned for quite some time because I was scared. It's very scared to take that leap into owning your own business and anything that you do, whether it's, anything. So I had it pinned there for quite some time, and I finally decided, you know what, like you said, with the pandemic going on, everything's so negative. I just decided, okay, I think now is the time. I want to pursue something that is my passion, something that I've always been interested in. And if it works, wonderful. If it doesn't, well, then I know that wasn't meant for me. So I always try to take a positive look on life and a positive look on things that I try to pursue. And I think if having that positive mindset, you're going to open yourself up to greater things in life.
Absolutely. I love the show. My wife, I have to be very careful letting her watch too much of it, because when we met, she was really into that. I mean, she has this huge chunk of amethyst on the windowsill in the kitchen. She has bought me I think she bought me what has she bought me? She's bought me an Apache tear, a bloodstone, a Brazilian quartz. What else has she gotten me? Lapis lazuli and tiger eye. Have you ever seen that figure? The thumb.
Yeah.
It's just a hand, but it's the thumb. That's
I,
called a lot of people don't know what that is. That's called a figa. It's a Brazilian good luck charm. My mother was Brazilian. May she rest in peace. But they usually come in tiger's eye or lapis lazuli. And my wife, knowing that, whenever she sees those, she'll buy me one. So I've got quite the collection of them. But she would get, if I don't watch her, um, she'll go a little nuts on your store, on your shop, because you've got such beautiful things on there. So I've got to kind of that's the only time I kind of pull back on the reins a little bit. Otherwise, she can do whatever she wants. But good job. Let me see what some of your fans and friends want to ask you. Oh, they want to know about your psychic gifts. This is a two-parter. One of your fans wants to know for you to define exactly what your psychic gifts are, and another one wants to know, is it by blood? Do you have other family members that are gifted such as yourself? Or was this something that you realized you had a gift solely to you, and then you worked on developing it?
um, I guarantee every question that is going to be asked is not going to be a yes or no answer. And
Listen to me.
it's also not going to be a one sentence answer. And I know
No, I
I'm
don't
going to
care.
try to keep it as general as possible and as
Let me tell
I
you
can go
how I
down
run
the
my
rabbit
show.
hole. And I
My
know we
my
only have an
show,
hour of a show.
I don't care. I am not that kind of
Okay.
host. You could talk. I've got my diet blueberry green tea here with ginseng. I'm relaxed. I'm loving life. I'm a blessed person. You can talk the rest of the hour. I am okay with it. That comes from the heart. So please,
Okay.
I want you to have fun. So you're going to want to come back. So talk as long as you want to talk. Your answers can be as long as they want
Okay.
to be. I
Wonderful. Okay.
That's how I
So,
roll.
as far as psychic abilities, I do believe that every human being has them. That's a given. Tapping into them is something else. It takes a lot of practice. Yes, I do believe that it is through bloodline. Um, Females in my family, I know, generations, um, have abilities. But I do believe if you just practice on it, just like anything else in life, you will get better at it. I do believe also that you should not be practicing on anything when you are either under the influence of any kind of drug or alcohol. I do believe that you shouldn't be in a negative mindset. If you're angry, depressed, any kind of negative feelings, it's really good to establish some kind of meditation or some kind of like a qigong exercise to really release those negative energies and realign your aura to accept positive affirmations. That way, it doesn't backfire on you when you're practicing your whatever it is that you believe in or whatever you're trying to manifest. But psychic abilities, yes, I do believe everybody has them. I'm still learning on all of mine. It's a learning process. I don't think I'll ever stop learning. um, the way the spirit comes to me is more of an audible and more vision. So whether it comes to me in dreams or I have a vision, um, synchronicities, numbers. Numbers is a big thing for me. Birds, animals is another big thing for me. Spirit gives you messages in so many ways, shapes, and forms. I do keep a journal. Um, I don't practice just one spirituality or one religion. I mean, I do focus on one, but I bring all aspects in. And let me explain that. When I have a vision or I have a dream and there's a name that pops in or a person that pops in, an energy, whether it's a saint, a deity, a god, a goddess, I mean, I don't care what it is. I will write it down in my journal and I will look it up. I will do all my research I possibly can and read, and try to find the message as to why this energy came to me, ask for guidance, and just meditate on it. And more than likely, my answers, it pretty much comes to me within weeks or months. It's like, you have that aha moment.
Yeah.
So that's my way of teaching myself when energy is communicating with me, when spirit's communicating with me, and what to do with it. So I write it down.
Oh my gosh. I think you're the first person that I can remember talking about writing down stuff in a journal. That I do that too. That's very important. I am very much like you in the sense that my gifts are through blood, but for some reason I never questioned. I never thought to question where this is coming through because I just always assumed it was the Holy Spirit or my guardian angel who I've seen a couple of times, and it's totally different than when I'm under attack. If I'm under working a case and there's something not good there, their attack on me is completely different. So what I'm hearing and experiencing is so different. I that always throws up like the I call it my spidey senses because I don't know what else to call it, but that's the red flag to me. That feeling I get when I know that that's something that that's the agenda that's coming across is not good versus the good messages. But it's like I talk to people all the time that are gifted like you, and some of them refer to uh, them tapping into like source energy or source knowledge.
Mhm.
And some say, they've got their spirit guides and their spirit posses. Do you know or have a feeling as to um, where your information comes from?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a divine source. Um, People may call it God, Jesus, Buddha. I mean, whatever your religion or spirituality is, everyone knows that there is a divine source out there. Um, I also believe building a relationship with your ancestors and building your relationship with the deities, gods, or goddesses that you are practicing with is going to help you when you come across the negative energies. Um, that relationship that you build with your ancestors, that relationship you build with your deities, your gods, that is going to help you create this shield around you to protect you. Kind of vision it as your spirit warriors behind you and always marching along with you when you are entering into any kind of investigation or a dream state, whatever it is that you feel that you are going to be encountering anything negative. It's always good to have, prepare yourself before you just go in. Meditate, pray, whatever it is you need to do to get your spirit team behind you and prepared and make it clear what it is, excuse me, what it is that you want your intentions set upon. If it's for protection, let them know what type of protection you're wanting. That way you can come out. I mean, any kind of investigation that you're going to go into or any kind of situation you go into that is going to drain your energy, you'll still have your energy drained, but you're not going to feel so lethargic afterwards.
Absolutely.
So,
Do you have children?
yes.
Are any of them, do you suspect, gonna
Yes.
follow in your? Yeah, I knew what the answer was gonna be to that already. Oh my gosh, as if the kids didn't have it tough enough this past year, and I don't think it's still gonna be a little tough going for them until we're really out of this. Um, I know so many parents out there that know their children are gifted, and some are um, frightened of it and don't know how to nurture it, don't know if they should shut it down, steer them in a different direction, or if they should find a way to help nurture that. So, for all of the parents out there that are struggling with gifted children, what would you like to share with them and talk with them about how that whole thing works?
First and foremost, listen to your child. Don't disregard anything they say. Take it with a grain of salt, of course, but be empathetic about it. Um, as an empath myself, growing up, I didn't understand why I was always feeling tired and lethargic, headaches, nausea, feeling shaky, whatever the physical manifestations are of being an empath. When you are surrounded by so many energies, whether you're at the grocery store, church, a gathering of sort, like a graduation party, you're going to have all these energies surrounding you, and not all of them are good. There's a lot of energies that can leech onto you, your auric field, and really drain it and deplete it. So you're going to feel very depleted. So I recommend listening to what type of symptoms you yourself or anybody else is having, and just you can reach out to me or anybody else who is experienced psychic, medium, empath, and just ask for guidance because you can really, there's a lot of exercises that you can do to help you protect yourself, whether it's healing crystals, whether it's meditation, whether it's Reiki sessions. There's so many things out there that you can do to help prepare you when you leave for the day, and also help prepare you when you come back home, so you're not bringing all that energy into your home.
It's also, you're like walking a tightrope between what you're able to get away with and not get away with your kids. Because you know how when we were all kids, you didn't want to be the one kid that everybody thought had the freaky parents. And so I have a lot of parents come to me and say, one parent, because of her background and some advice that she got, and it was all good advice, but they started trying to smudge their children more often. And the kids would freak out about that. They don't like the smell of the smudge, whether it's sweetgrass or sage, or I've been using that new dragon's blood sage. I love it. But they try to smudge their children, and the kids freak out. They don't like the smell, or they feel allergic to it, or they don't want that smell on their body. They go to school or out to play with their kids, and the kids are, oh, you smell weird. And then, what do you think parents should, what's just some good basic ways your average parent who is not into this like you and I are, but has this gifted child, and maybe that they know that the child is being a target and needs extra protection, because you and I know that we're targets, and we've naturally over the years and over time have just developed a way to it's just like part of our daily routine to do things to protect us. But the children don't do that, and they're really under attack a lot. And some of these parents are like about as non-believing as you can get, other than the fact that they know that there's something special about their child, and they're a little freaked out. How should they go about helping protect their child to avoid embarrassment with them seeming different than like the oddball kid in the bunch?
Again, I would probably, like you said, if they don't believe in this, and their child has these symptoms of psychic attacks, or they're feeling bullied in school for that, I mean, I can give you all the recommendations in the world until I'm blue in the face. But if the parent isn't going to be receptive to that, then my only suggestion would be, if they are in if they go to church, whether, I would reach out to their church, or reach out to someone in a spiritual nature that that they feel comfortable talking to and trust, to help give them guidance. It can't come from someone who they're not going to believe in, or from someone who they don't know and don't trust. If they don't feel comfortable enough to accept the guidance, then it's not going to do any good for them or for the family.
Very, very cool. I don't know how much you experience that. I experience a lot of that. Parents reaching out to me, and it's just really, it's I feel bad for them. Me and I saw ghosts when I was very little, and just the simple fact that my mother acknowledged the fact that she believed me, and that she had an explanation for what they were, and pretty much told me, you're going to experience this your whole life. And then, we had different little routines that we did together to help me in times when I was a little freaked out. Just that was enough to help me. Although, for lack of a better term, I stayed in the closet with all those issues for many, many years, probably until, I was late teens, 20s, before I started really coming out with telling people about my gifts and my passions as far as the paranormal went. So
and that's a hard thing to do. I mean, like you said, it's not going to be accepted by many, but I'm kind of in the same boat where I do my own research. I can't stress that enough. If there's something that you are feeling drawn to, research it. do a lot of reading, read up on it, do your research. And if it has, a positive influence on you, then, I mean, pursue it. If that's your calling, then pursue it. But for me, pretty much on my own, just, doing my research, looking up videos, saving websites that I refer back to every now and then. If you can find yourself a mentor, that'd be even better because they have the knowledge, the experience, and the resources. But if you don't, just like I go down the rabbit hole so many times. I can be researching one thing and reading up on it, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, what is this? So I'll jot that down and go research that later on, and then find something else, and it's just a never ending thing for me. So just knowing that you're not hurting anybody else, and this is something that you feel that is going to benefit you in the long run. I don't see why not. It's
Very,
just
very
finding.
cool.
Yeah, it's just finding your tribe. The people will flock to you, the like-minded people.
People want to know about which came first, you knowing about your psychic gifts or the ghost hunter in you?
Wow, that's a tough one because it's kind of a mixture of both. Since I was a kid, I've had paranormal experiences, but also having spirit communicate with me. So it was difficult trying to separate the two until I got old enough to realize that, oh, okay, started doing my research and trying to figure out what this is, and coming to realize that, okay, so yes, I was experiencing, spirit, paranormal experiences, but I was also experiencing spirit giving me messages and communicating with me. So since I was a kid, I don't think one came first from the other. I think it was just kind of meshed in together that I can remember as a kid.
Well, I find this part about you very cool. You're a member of a team called Error 575. Now, I see that all over the place. And what is the difference between the different error teams? And there's always a different number behind it, but it starts with error, then the number, and I see them all over. What is that?
It's the area code. So my area code is 575. We're located based out of Taos, New Mexico.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk to you about that too. Go ahead.
And the other area codes are based out wherever their area codes are. My team is just a small team of 2 people, me and one other woman. We have yet to get established. We have this team that we created. We probably have a few investigations under our belt, but it's kind of slow moving.
That's okay. It's one of these days when you least expect it. You especially, someone like you, one day it'll just explode. But who started that error and then the different area codes? Who founded that? Is it a big society?
It's a network that was put together by Emily. I don't remember her last name. I think it's I don't remember her last name, but it was put together by Emily, and she created all these teams and asked us, whoever's interested in creating a team, let her know, and we'll get a team put together. So we were like, sure, let's go ahead and put one together.
Well, let's talk about the one place I don't like to move a lot, but I have, born and raised in Southern California, primarily was raised in Colts Neck, New Jersey, moved back to Southern California 30 years ago, relocated to Vegas. I'm not a type of person that moves around a lot. But if I had to relocate anywhere in my twilight years after I definitely go into full retirement, I'm telling you, at the top of the list has to be Taos, New Mexico. And you're the first person that I've talked to, well, second person, first person I've had on as a guest from there, or that lives there. Many, many years ago, a gentleman that was born and raised there who relocated. By the time he contacted me with his issues, he had relocated. But he told me this fantastic story. I guess on his mother's side, there was ancestry of, I guess the word he used was Puebloan, the Puebloan ancestry on his mother's side. And they lived and worked on a ranch or a farm. But he said that he was warned by his mother about a demon that roamed the property, and they referred to it as the Cocoa Man or Pumpkinhead. And I know there was a movie called Pumpkinhead, which was loosely based on this. A lot of people don't know that back in the day, but I found the story very interesting and different. And he said that he thought it was all bull, but he actually came face to face with this entity, and it kind of latched onto him. And so I was trying to help him from where I was at all the way to where he was at with his issues. I might even put that in my next book, that story, because that was probably one of the most interesting and really freaky cases I worked in a long time. But for someone like you, gifted, Taos has to be just like, I can't imagine you living anywhere else. What you do with your gifts, that place is just does the Taos hum still exist?
For those who don't believe it, I mean, I just moved out here. I was born and raised in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I moved out here. Believe it or not, I bought property in the woods. I literally live in the forest here in
Very
Taos.
cool.
So when I moved out here about 2 years ago, I heard it. And I'm just like, okay, I know maybe it's just playing tricks on me because I was expecting to hear this, but for me, it's like a very mid-range frequency, like a hum, not a buzzing, not a high-pitched buzz, but more like a humming. So I don't know what that is. And believe me, I'm going down the rabbit hole on that one too. I'm doing my research on that because it's very interesting.
Nobody knows what it is. And here's my thinking. If there's some giant labyrinth underneath Taos of some, alien world or alien beings living under there, and that's what you're hearing is their base. Cool. If it's something nature, people like you and I would find a way to use that. I would be out all the time in nature.
I do.
Trying to use that hum because it's all vibration to work with my chakra and stuff,
Yes, I feel that it's more elemental, that it's more nature based than it is man-made. Because just in the 2 years that I moved out here, I love being in the woods. So I'm hiking all the time. I'm out there on foot in the deep woods. And I come across, I don't know if you know anything about ley lines or vortexes. I come across a lot of that here in Taos. And you feel these certain energies that just make your hairs stand up until all end. And you feel it in your core. I get very emotional when I come into these certain vortexes or ley lines. And I have a feeling that has a lot to do with it for the hum that is here. I do.
So you're as a gifted person, your source energy is telling you that this is some type of elemental earth created atmospheric type energy, whatever, from our earth. That's what you're feeling?
Electric magnetic field of some sort.
Well, it's got to be doing something good. I know it drives some people crazy. There have been people that have just, I can't handle anymore and I have to move. Very few, but there are some of the world renowned. Nowhere else in the world can you find retreats and spas like you can in Taos. And that's all because of that whole area and the whole feel of that place is just incredible. And Adrian and I were talking about another place. It's funny you bring it up because we couldn't remember the name of it before the show started. And it is Santa Fe, I believe. Isn't Santa Fe also very Taos-like in its spirituality?
Right. Yes.
So you just that's your world. I find that so cool.
There's one, I don't know if you know, it's in there's a church out here. It's a very historical church. This is probably one of the first places that I have ever felt that like vortex or energy. It's called Santario Church. It's very a famous church here. If you look it up, you'll see that people used to pilgrimage to it from all over, walking to.
Is that the church where they reach into the hole and they get like holy dirt?
Right. Yeah, I have
Okay,
some
yeah,
of that right here.
yeah, I forgot the name, but I'm familiar with that. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful
But there are certain
history.
places in that specific church, and there's a church right next to it that I get that I it hits me hard like a wall of energy, and I just feel overwhelmed. My auric field just it gets real shaky, my palms get sweaty, my heart starts palpitating, and I get that vertigo feeling like if you're in a moving elevator. And that's when I know I'm hitting some kind of um, shift in energy, whether it's a vortex, a ley line, some kind of electromagnetic energy is what I believe is what I'm hitting. And I just kind of I let it do what it's got to do so I can understand, try to
Absolutely.
experience it. So when it happens the next time, I can understand more of why it is, try to put the dots, connect the dots if I'm in a different place and I feel that same thing. And just,
Well, many, many years ago, I had a friend of mine, and he was always interested in the paranormal, but never really did any investigating. But then he went and saw a movie, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. John Cusack was the star in it. And I believe the hotel manager was Samuel L. Jackson, and he went up to spend the night in a haunted room that they had closed off, and he needed special permission to get in there and spend the night in there. And he played an author that traveled around writing stories about haunted hotels and stuff. So he got all he became that guy for a short period of time, and he's retired. So he traveled around all these places. He said one of the most haunted places he'd ever been in his short paranormal career was Taos. He spent, I want to say, a week or two there. Every couple of nights, he would spend a night or two in a different hotel, and it was all down in that area. He had paranormal activity and ghost activity and experiences off the charts at every location. Um, what do you think it is about that place that's just, and you hardly hear people in the paranormal community talk about Taos?
um, I I don't know. It's just the energy that is here is definitely different than um, the places I've traveled. It's very, I don't even know the word to use. Um, I don't know the word. I'm just drawing a blank, but
I got to get there. I have to get there, and if I
the
do, I
energy is
promise I'll
different
look
here.
you up. You, my wife and I, and you and your other teammate will go to some of these locations, and we'll just let it happen. I don't even believe my feeling is that you just let it happen. Don't really have
Absolutely.
to,
You have to experience it. I believe they even do, they have tour guides, like haunted tour guides here
Oh, really? Well,
that
that's
guide the
cool.
tour.
Another thing that I don't know why they're not talking about this more in the media. I think it was last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Last week, we had the very rare full blood moon lunar eclipse, and reports of UFO activity over Taos is off the charts, and they're not talking about it. And so here's the debate. The debate is, has it always been there, or did more people notice it because they were looking up at the moon because of the event? Who knows? But you live in a
Um,
you live
there's
in a
I need to really keep my camera with me at all times because especially at night here I've noticed a lot of activity in the skies. There have been a few claims also just recently. I think a few of them last year and a couple this year, just right behind my house over here, um, of actual alien crafts being seen. And so there's been a lot of alien activity here in Taos since the 2 years I've moved in. Not saying it's alien activity. I shouldn't say that. I'm just saying UFO, unidentified flying objects in the sky.
what are they
Um,
calling them now? They're calling them unidentified aerial phenomena. UAPs. I have a little something I want to tell you. I don't know. I doubt it'll freak you out, but they say now experts. I have always said that there's no experts in any field, but experts in the ufology community say if you see a UFO, you've been on it.
oh, wow, okay. Well, then I guess I've been on many of them.
Isn't that an interesting concept? It just makes you wonder. And so now whenever I see them, I just wave. I'll be here waiting for you when you come back. And I see a lot of them too here. Well, Vegas, but it's just a matter of looking up there and being able to identify that versus just regular old, aircraft. But oh my gosh! Before we run out of time, what else do I want? There are a couple of more questions from your fans, but I want to I want everybody to know about what you do on the Paranormal United Network TV or Paranormal United Network 2 Facebook Live page and your Facebook Live page, the Ravens Call Shop. Now, tell everybody about when they can see this show and what they can expect from the show. And you've got a wonderful website, and I'm going to ask you about something I saw on your website after you answer the question. But your website is www.theravenscall, all one word, .shop. You've also got a wonderful Facebook page, same name. Tell everybody about the show, where they can watch it. You got one tonight, and what they can expect, other than a lot of your hand showing the beautiful stuff in front of the camera and hearing you, but they don't get to see you like they do now.
You're right. So I do go live on the Paranormal United Network 2 page every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We do games, giveaways, and we do a live auction on every live stream. So if you are available after the show tonight, I'll be going live around 5:30 tonight. You guys can check it out. Just hang out with us. You don't have to participate if you don't want to, but just come out and see what it's all about. I do have the website as well. I have an online shop. This is all online based. I don't have an actual physical shop unless you want to come to my home and you can shop all the crystals that I have here. But the website, I also, let's see, the business page, the Ravens Call business page on Facebook. I mainly do all of my sales on Facebook. I don't really do anything else on other social media platforms. I do promote like on Instagram or TikTok, but I really don't utilize them in the sense that I do Facebook. I sell crystals mainly, metaphysical tools, sage, Palo Santo. If you guys are interested in a product that you don't see on one of my live sales, just private message me and more than likely I'll be able to get it for you. Custom made items are kind of hard to come by because I don't personally make them myself. So I would have to reach out to my suppliers to see if they can make them. So that is that is a possibility.
Very, very cool. Love the show. Got such beautiful stuff on there. So I'm gonna have to just bite the bullet and allow my wife to, watch a little bit more and get something there because we're due. She hasn't gotten anything for herself or me in a long time, but good job. Great show. What else did I want to ask you? In your humble opinion, I remember getting Brazilian quartz as a necklace from a family member, and my mother was from Brazil. And I remember putting it on that. I never forget this. I went, and I don't gamble, and I went, and it was at the airport. I was saying bye to a friend, and I just decided to stop and throw, I don't know if it was 50 cents, a dollar in a slot machine and pulled the arm and ended up winning a couple of grand. And I never forgot
Wow.
that. And I was convinced it was the energy from that Brazilian quartz and probably some help from my mother that helped all of that happen.
Sure.
For the layman just starting out, and you don't even have to believe in the mystical properties of these things. You can just enjoy the fact that some of them are so beautiful that the earth created these things and they're just
Absolutely.
beautiful. But what for the layman who says, well, you know what, it couldn't hurt. If some of these do have some magical powers, what would you recommend a good starting point for the layman? Something to get. Like I remember my wife got her big chunk of amethyst, and every time we would go to this shop, right in front of the door, I'm telling you, we thought about saving up for it, but then we knew, knowing us, as klutzy as we are, we'll knock it over and break it. But it was as tall as me, twice as wide as me, and probably as deep as three of
Wow.
me was this huge chunk of amethyst out in
Amethyst.
front of the store. And it was like $5,000. But oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. But she ended up buying a piece like you got to hold with two hands, and it sits on a windowsill. But for the layman who would like to start off small with something that you and I both know is going to help, they don't have to believe it, but you and I know that's going to help. What would you recommend?
Clear quartz, number one, is the one crystal that I would recommend for anybody. Clear quartz is basically your overall crystal. I
And
would
is that do they
highly
come?
recommend.
Does that come? Is that like United States clear quartz, or is it from another country?
They come from all over. My suppliers, there's some of them are based in China, some of them are based in Pakistan, some of them are based in Mexico, but they come from all over.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I love all of that stuff that you have on there. And what did I see last night? Was it last? No, I think it was a show that I watched maybe last week. You had the little um, carved skulls out of a variety of different types of stones, which I just thought were cool. I'm not into. Oh my gosh, the alien head. I love all that stuff. So yeah, all that stuff is just so cool. Okay, what else do I want to ask you here? Oh, pendulums. I know we don't have time for all of these questions. It's all under the divination umbrella. I've been seeing a lot of people use pendulums lately. Like, for instance, here, this is a watch that my father left me before he passed away. And I would take it on locations and try and hold it as still as I can. And I would ask spirit, to swing it back and forth for a no or in a circle for a yes. I had a pendulum, and I think I started using the watch because I misplaced it. But I've been seeing people use the pendulum more and more. I can't tell if they've got it on a little stand and it's hanging down over what appears to be like a little circular version of like a talking board, like a Ouija
Mhm.
board. Um, what do you like that technique of the pendulum versus like just traditional Ouija or a spirit board, or does it not matter? You like them both?
For divination, I do utilize tools, um, but you yourself, you're the conduit, you're the power, you're the magic. That's where it all comes from. The tools that you use are just an extension of your power. So using a pendulum, I use pendulums in the dowsing rods and tarot cards. So those are my three that I use the most.
Oh, well, just now I got blasted by the cold air. Do you see my dream catcher there spinning?
Right.
I just got blasted with the cold air, and you just mentioned these, and they're shaking in my jar. Maybe you can answer why my dowsing rods always point to me. What is that about?
Well, mine are programmed to, that's a yes answer. So spirit is connecting with you there.
Right when you said that. So you've sent somebody over here who wants to be part of the show, which is very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so we covered a little bit of that. I have always been into, more so now, because I read that the apostles used to do it before it became a shunned thing in the Catholic religion, but they casted lots. So I've been looking at more and more things like that, like the yes and no coins and some of the older Jewish yes and no stones and some of the divination stones. I'm not too big on the ones that you have to learn what the meanings are because it's all Egyptian and stuff. I'm very intrigued about that. But palmistry, I don't see anybody practicing palmistry anymore. And I thought to myself, summertime, you know what would make a lot of money for someone? If they opened up a shop. Now, you can call it anything, but the name that came to me was, and now I forgot the name. Spirit doesn't want me to say the name. It wants me to remember the name later for myself. But it's a shop where you can go and get reflexology on your feet and a pedi, because it's summertime. Women will go for this. And while they're there, they get their palm read. They get palmistry done. Why do I not see more people use palmistry like I used to?
That's a good thing to bring up because you're right. I don't see a lot of palmistry or tea reading anywhere really.
Used to see back years ago. I knew a couple of people that were great at it and did it all the time, but maybe that is something you want to, you and your friend there, open up a shop doing that. Reflexology, petties, palmistry.
There you go, all in one package.
Oh my gosh. My least favorite time of I can't believe the hour flew by so fast.
It goes by fast. If anybody does have any questions for me, just private message me to my private Facebook page or message me on the Ravens Call Business page on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions in more depth. I know we were short on time, so.
Another important thing for me is to ask if you had fun and would you come back?
Absolutely. You let me know when, and I will be here.
Sister, I love you. I respect you. I pray for you and your family. Good job on everything you do. Don't change. Stay you. Guys, don't forget she's got a show tonight, The Ravens Call Shop on the Paranormal United Network 2. This was the one and only, the very gifted from Taos, New Mexico, Valerie Wright. I promise you guys I'll have her back on. Valerie, thank you so much, honey. Have a great evening, great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Sounds good. Love you guys.
Good night. Oh my gosh. I love talking to gifted people, and that means you guys too. You're all gifted, and I can feel that. So, what do I want to tell you guys? Next week's guest, Friday the 11th, cool dude alert, Todd M. Cope, co-founder, founding member of TNK Paranormal, co-founder, founding member of Mass Paranormal Adventures, Elite ParaHunter, Paranormal Authority. You're going to love him. So that is next Friday the 11th. Until then, I want to give a big shout out to my very talented, passionate, beautiful producer, Adrian Hart. aka Ghost Granny, Desert Heart Paranormal, one of the co-owners of Paranormal United Network. And if you like my show, go over to the Paranormal United Network Facebook Live page. They've got a great lineup there. A lot of shows way better than mine. Check them out. Stay blessed, everybody. Stop the anger. Stop the violence. Anger is just a punishment we put on ourselves for somebody else's mistake. Everybody have a blessed week. I love you all. On that note, good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. God bless you all. I'll see you all next week. Peace, everybody.